All right, welcome you guys. Meredith Bath is teaching our yoga class today. Welcome, Adriana. So you guys are being recorded. Please mute yourselves. Everybody mute yourself. I might have to do it myself. Just so we don't have any background noise. And then she might ask a question. And if you want to answer, you can, but let's stay muted for most of the recording because I am recording this so we can use it again on our YouTube channel. So I'm gonna also go. Okay, take it away, Meredith. It's all you.
All right, good morning, everyone. Like Erin said, my name's Meredith. This is Yogi, and we're going to be doing a gentle yoga class. As with any yoga class, if this is your first time, you've never done yoga before, yoga means the union between your breath, your mind, and your body. So that's really what yoga is focused on. It's not focused on getting you to be the most flexible person in the world or putting you into some kind of crazy, binded position that makes you look like a pretzel. So just be mindful of that. If you have a specific injury where something feels like a sharp shooting pain, then it's too much. You're doing too much with that. That's your nerves telling you to stop. So dull aches are fine. I'm 6 months pregnant, so I'm not going to be doing some of the poses that I will be having you doing. I won't be on my belly or doing twists. If you're also in that scenario, then please don't do that. And yeah, that's it. So come to any comfy seat. If you want to sit, just so if you have like a block or a set of books, or if you have a bolster, a cushion, or just even like a big towel that you can use to pad your knees, if we're on our knees, or on your back, then you might want to grab that. And lastly, a strap. So if you have a strap, we're definitely going to be stretching the legs, and a strap would be helpful. Okay, so just come to any comfy seat. You could sit cross-legged, or you could sit on a chair if you want, or rest your back against a wall, or what have you. And close your eyes. And just allow the eyelids to drape closed. And just take a moment and be still. And just notice any sounds that you hear in your room. Notice any movement that you're feeling that you're still doing. And then scan your body and notice areas that you feel tension. So maybe your hips or your neck, or maybe having your knees bent is uncomfortable. You can extend your legs. And just start by taking a nice deep, deep, deep inhale. And then let out an audible sigh. We're going to try that 2 more times. Deep, 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 deep inhale. Last inhale, deep, deep inhale. Inhale all the way to the crown of your head. And then let it go, audible sigh. And then we're going to do a 4-count breath. So you're going to inhale for 4 counts. You're going to retain the breath for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts, and then hold the breath out for 4 counts. And if possible, inhaling and exhaling through your nose only. So take an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a nice deep inhale. Let out an audible sigh. Gently drop the chin to the chest, slowly circle the head around to the right. And don't move to the fullest extent of your stretch, just start off slow. Come right or all the way around again, chin to chest. Pause for a second, reverse the circle. Come back around, chin to chest. Bring your head up to neutral, gently blink the eyes open, roll the shoulders back. Bringing them up towards the ears, back into the back plane, now into the frontal plane, and then back up towards the ears. And then reverse the circle. Reach the left hand down, right arm reaches up and over the ear. You can stay high with your left arm there, or you can slightly bend through the left elbow, grounding your right hip, reaching out of the right hip with the right arm. Breathe along the right side as you reach up, and then roll your right shoulder back so you can look up on the inside of your right arm. And then switch sides, right hand down, left arm reaches right up and over the ear. Gently pressing into the floor with the right hand, grounding your left hip down, reaching out of it. Staying there or bending into the right elbow, roll the left shoulder back, look up on the inside of your left arm. And then release that. Come over onto all fours. Having a neutral spine, have your neck be nice and long. If you have a dog in the room, just move them out of the way. And then keep your belly button pulled into the spine. Crown of the head is pulling forward, tailbone's pulling back. Spine is nice and long. And as you inhale there, lift your tailbone, slide your shoulder blades down, lift your heart and your chin, look up. And then as you exhale, round your back, tuck your tailbone under you, push the floor away, bring shoulder blades on either side of your rib cage. Try that 3 more times. Inhaling, tail comes up, shoulder blades slide down, heart and chin lifts. Exhaling, rounding your back, tucking your tailbone under you, chin to chest, push the floor away. Inhale, tail comes up, shoulder blades slide down, heart and chin lift. And exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone under you, chin to chest. Last one, inhale, tail comes up, shoulder blades slide down, heart and chin lift. And exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone under you, push the floor away. Coming back to a neutral spine, open the knees slightly wider than the hips, and then sit your butt back to your heels. Reach your arms forward, let your belly drape long through your thighs. This is called child's pose. It's a recovery pose. You can come to this pose whenever you want in the practice. Pressing into the floor, pushing your sit bones down into your heels, stretching through the top of your feet. And then look forward at your hands, round your back as you come back up, drawing your knees together. Curling your toes under now, stretching into the heels and the Achilles tendon of your feet. Gently rock back. So you're going to peel your knees up off the floor, and then this is going to be your choice. How far do you want to go back? Just stretching from your heel up into your calf. Good. Coming back onto the knees, coming up onto your knees. Take your right foot forward. So left knee is going to be down, right foot's going to be forward, and we're just going to gently lunge into that right knee. Keeping the hips nice and square, planting the hands to the right thigh. Start to lift your heart up out of that. Feel a stretch to that left hip flexor. Morning. And then keeping the hips square, reach your left arm up and over the ear. Look up on the inside of that left arm. If it's okay for you, right hand can come down low. Reach out of that. And then release that. Now we're just gonna pivot back and forth between stretching the hamstring lightly, so extending through your right leg, and then bending into the right knee. Try that 3 more times. Inhaling as you come back, extending through the hamstring, and then exhaling as you come forward, lengthening through the left thigh. 2 more. Inhale, shift the tailbone back, flex through your right foot. Exhale, shift forward, fingertips to the ground, or you could prop your hands up on blocks. 1 more time. Inhale, come back. And exhale, come forward. This time, push the top of your left foot into the ground. Drive your left knee slightly forward, and then press again into your right thigh. So it's a greater stretch for that left hip flexor. You might feel it in the center of your left thigh. Lift the heart up out of your hips and drop your shoulders down. Look up, lift your chin, breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Start to raise the arms up, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chin, the heart, the gaze. Inhaling there, Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, release that. Right knee comes down, knees go wide. Again, sit back into child's pose again. Draping the chest between the thighs again. This time, creepy crawly your hands forward. See if you can get a little bit of some pressure in those hands. So you're kind of like sticking the hands onto your mat. And then drape your sit bones back even more. Feel a stretch right through your mid back, into your upper back, into the underarms, through the lats. And then release that. Knees come together, come up onto the knees again, switching sides. Left knee is going to come forward, right knee is going to stay down. Top of the right foot rests on the ground, lunge forward into your left knee. And then again, start to place the hands on the left thigh. It's a gentle stretch for the hip flexor to start with. Again, if you feel any sharp shooting pain, you're going too far. Draw your shoulder blades back, start to lift your heart and your gaze, breathing there. And then left hand can go low, right arm can reach up and over. Again, roll your right shoulder back, lift your gaze up on the inside of the right arm, lengthen. And then release that. Dynamic stretching for the hamstring and the hip flexor. Inhaling as you extend back, lengthening through the hamstring, and by all means, keep your knees soft if your hamstrings are really tight. And then exhaling as you lunge forward. 3 more like that. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Last 2. Inhale back. Flex through your foot a little bit. Press the ball mount forward. Exhale forward. Last 1. Inhale back. And exhale forward. Planting your left foot down. Push the top of your right foot into the ground this time. Plant the hands onto the left thigh. Slightly drag your right knee forward. So you're just sliding the skin on the mat there. You'll feel a light tightening in your right hip. And now we're going to eccentric stretch out of it. Lift your heart up. Draw your shoulder blades back. Keep your belly button engaged back to your spine so you're not overarching your back. Lift your gaze. Inhale there. And then if it feels okay for you, reach the arms up. Again, draw the shoulders back. See if you can get your biceps back behind your ears. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Release that. Hands come down. Left knee comes back. This time, knees together, child's pose. Sit your bum back to your heels. Belly drapes down to your thighs, and now we're gonna roll the right sit bone off of the right heel. So slide your right sit bone off your right heel, and then reach your arms over to the left side of your mat. So you're grounding that right side, feel a stretch to the QL, the low right side of your back, And then lengthen your arms up and out of it. Breathe there. For 3, maybe you could cross your right arm over your left arm. Breathe for 2. And 1. Release that. Switch sides. Come over to your right side of your mat. Sorry, shift your left sit bone off of the left heel. Ground it there like you've got a magnet pulling you down or weighting it down, and then reach your left arm out of it. And if it feels okay for you, cross your left arm over your right. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. Release that. Come up onto the hands and knees. Curl your toes under you, planting your hands down. Spread your fingers wide. Have your index finger point towards the top of the mat. The other 3 fingers on the outside of that face outward. Draw your shoulders down and then curl your toes and lift your hips into downward facing dog. So downward facing dog is one of our key poses in yoga. This could be really uncomfortable if you're not doing it right. So let's start with up by your head. Drop your shoulders down. So you need to actively pull your shoulder blades down your back. Don't just let your shoulders, kind of hike up towards your ears. If your knees are bent, it means that you're totally normal, but feel a stretch to the hamstring. And then lift your sit bones up some so your tailbone is the highest thing on your body. Let your neck be nice and long. The crown of the head is facing towards the ground. Your elbows are not fully locked out, but they're not super bent. Just like your knees. They're not fully locked out, but they're not super bent. And then do whatever makes you feel good. Pedal push through your feet a little bit. Move your toes around a little bit. Right? Maybe roll your feet a little bit. Lifting one hip higher than the other. And obviously you're breathing. You're always breathing. And if you can, in through your nose, out through your nose. If not, in through your nose, out through your mouth, or just breathe through your mouth the whole time. For 2 and 1. We're going to shift forward into a plank position. You're going to pause there for a second. You're going to draw your shoulders down. And then take your knees down first. Let your feet go flush. Have your chin and your chest come between your hands, okay? So you're in a modified belly position, and then slide yourself all the way out onto your belly. So you're gonna be fully prone on your belly. I'm not gonna be doing that, but you're gonna be fully prone on your belly. And just breathe there for 3, for 2, and 1. Draw your hands close to your ears. Start to lift your shoulders slightly, coming up into a cobra. Draw your shoulder blades together, lightly lifting your chest, looking forward. Inhale there. And then exhale, come back down, belly to the floor. Try that 2 more times. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your heart. So we're strengthening your upper back. We're opening up the chest. Look forward. And then exhale, come down. One more time, cobra position. Draw your shoulder blades together. Draw them down your back. Lift your heart. Inhale there. Look forward. Breathe in. Exhale, shift back to child's pose. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round your back into cat pose. Inhale, reverse arch your back into cow pose. And then exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Have your toes turn slightly in, your heels turn slightly out so you can't see the inner arch of your feet. Drop your head down, shake your head yes, and shake your head no. So there is not tension in your neck. Walk your hands back to your feet. Have your knees be soft. Hands come underneath the knees. Inhale, draw your shoulder blades together just like you did in Cobra. Drop your shoulders out of your ears. Exhale, come down. One more like that. Inhale, hands underneath the knees, strengthening your spine. Look forward. Exhale, come down. Hands come to the hips, and with a flat back, we rise all the way up to standing. Tadasana pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Bring the hands together, bring your biceps back behind your ears, get a nice big spinal stretch, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come through the heart center, forward bend. We're gonna do 2 sun salutations. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, walk your hands forward, come into a plank position. Firm up the thighs, draw the shoulders out of the ears, the elbows are soft, the knees are locked out. Come all the way down to the mat or bend through the elbows. You can take your knees down to the mat if you want. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, how we were before, prone on the belly. Exhale, child's pose. Stretch the back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round your back into cat pose. Inhale, reverse arch your back into cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in downward facing dog. Focusing on your right foot. Ground your right heel down, bend into your left knee. Let your right hip go high. Feel a stretch all along the outside of the right edge of your right leg. And then switch sides. Ground the left heel down, bend into your right knee. Press the hands into the floor. Look forward between the hands. Step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, flat back, sweep the arms up. Reach up, look up. Shoulders back, heart lifts, little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana pose. Second round, sun A. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands through the heart center, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, step it back, plank pose. Draw the shoulders down, firm up the core, firm up the thighs. Going through a modified chaturanga or a full chaturanga, you could take your knees down if you're like me. You can also come all the way down to your belly. Bend through the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, whatever works for you. Draw your shoulders down. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round your back into a cat pose. Inhale, reverse your back, cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips high, heels low. Press the floor away from you. Roll up onto the ball mounts of your feet and then shift both heels over to the right. If they touch the ground, great. If not, it means that you're totally normal. Feel a stretch on the left side of your body. And then switch sides, heels high. Roll over onto the left side, press the floor away with both hands. Come back to neutral. Step your, look forward, step your left foot forward. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, forward bend. Now, you might need a strap for stretching through the hamstrings, so you might want to grab a strap or a hand towel. We're going to take that strap and we're going to place it underneath the feet. Your feet are going to be hip-width distance apart. So 2 fist distance is a great marker there. Now, if you have an injury to your hamstring, then you're not going to follow this protocol. I'll give you a different protocol. But if your hammies are totally fine, then this is a very safe stretch for you, okay? So I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, I want you to bend through your knees, and I want you to rest your belly and your chest onto your thighs. So you're fully rested onto your thighs, okay? Your knees are bent, right? What's so funny? Now, we're gonna start to straighten through the legs. Your chest can lift up off your thighs, but your belly needs to stay glued. If you're like me and you got a big belly right now, it's easy to keep it glued there, right? But your belly needs to stay glued, and you want to be feeling the stretch here in the back of the thighs and not just yanking on your low back. Okay, you can pull against your feet with the straps. You could push down with the feet to intensify it. Relax your head down. Now, if you have a hamstring injury, unbend your knees, flex your thighs, so fully engage your quads, and with a flat back, stay there. Okay, but if not, keep the knees bent, belly glued to thighs, relax the head, and breathe. For 3, you can lift your tailbone up a little bit. I know it's intense, I'm already sweating. Breathe for 2, and 1. Release that, release the strap, place it off to the thighs, and then slowly, last thing to come up is gonna be your head. Roll yourself up to a standing position. Arms up as you inhale. Hands come through the heart center, Tadasana pose. Step to the top of your mat. Take your left foot back. Have the heel be high to start with, kind of moving into a crescent position, but we're gonna change it into warrior 1. Plant the hands on the right thigh and just lunge into that forward right knee. Keep the core engaged, keep the shoulders down. Now ground your left heel to the floor, so it's at a 45-degree angle. Take the hands to the head of the hips and draw your right hip back. Your ribs will follow it, left hip forward. Coming to warrior 1, reach the arms up, drop the shoulders down, and then again, lift the heart. Look up at it, inhale. Exhale, bend a little bit deeper. 2 more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend through that right knee. Last one, inhale, lengthen, look back. Can you see something behind you? And then exhale, hands come to the heart center. Step your left foot forward. Right foot's gonna come back this time. Starting in a crescent lunge to start with. Hips are nice and square. Heel is high. Left knee is bent. Lift the gaze, grounding your right heel to the floor. You might feel a stretch on the outer edge of your right foot. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Your ribs should follow what your hips are doing. And then again, reach the arms up. Inhale. Take your shoulders back. Lifting as you bend into that left knee a little bit deeper. Drawing your biceps behind your ears. One more inhale, find something behind you to look at. And then exhale, hands to the heart center. Now turn both feet. So now you're facing over the side of your mat. Pigeon toe your toes there. Take the hands behind your low back. So I'll just show you. They're right back here. You'll feel the upper edge of your pelvis there. And then press your hips forward. This is a great heart opening stretch. Press your hips forward. Draw your shoulders back. You're going to feel this all the way down into your hip flexors. Lift your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale as you come up to neutral. Exhale as you hinge forward. Chest towards your thighs. Hands come right underneath you. Inhale, flatten your back, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. You could take your palms, you could walk them behind you with your fingers facing behind you. Relax your head down. Breathe for 3. Push into the outer edges of your feet. Stretch through the outside edges of your ankles and up into your peroneals, the outsides of your shins. Breathe for 2. And 1. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. Transfer them back to your hips and rise up. Keep your left foot right where it is. Turn your right foot towards the back of your mat, arriving into warrior 2. Okay, so right knee is going to bend. Left foot is grounded in a 90-degree position. And if you look down, hopefully you're seeing your big right toe on the inside of your right knee. Extend your arms and lengthen. Drop your shoulders, okay? So it's not about flexing the shoulders towards the ears. Drop the shoulders, bend deep into that right knee, and then gaze over your middle finger. So we call this your drishti, your focal point. Gaze over your middle finger, and then slightly pull back. Left arm pulls back because you have a tendency to lean into that right leg. Left arm pulls back. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. We're gonna make it dynamic. Inhale, lengthen your arms up, extend through your right leg. Exhale, bend deep into that right knee, gaze over the middle finger. 2 more, inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen your right leg. Exhale, bend into that right knee. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Now transfer your right elbow to your right thigh and grab on to that right thigh muscle and turn it slightly outward. So you're pushing with your right elbow to spin the thigh kind of back behind you outward. This is called side angle pose or Parsva Konasana. Reach your left arm up and over your ear. Now again, spin that shoulder back. So you want to feel a stretch all along the left side. Lengthen, look up out of it. If that feels okay for you, you could bring your right hand low on the inside. You can even use a block if that's going to raise the floor up towards you and press into the inside edge of that right knee. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Release that. Take your left hand to your left hip, rise up out of it, spin your right foot forward again. Again, pigeon toe your feet, interlace your hands behind your back, squeeze your palms together. So none of this open palm stuff. That's going to give you an artificial sense of shoulder mobility. So squeeze your palms together, press your hips back and hinge forward. Now your arms are naturally going to go where they're comfortable going. Don't bounce, don't force it. Relax your head down, keep your palms squeezed together. You'll feel a stretch down into your bicep and the front part of your shoulder, then obviously your chest. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the hands to the floor again. Lengthen your spine, flat back. Inhale. Belly engage as you exhale, rise. Turn your left foot. Now it's facing towards the top of your mat. Your right foot is still facing over the side at a 90-degree angle, coming into warrior 2 on the left side. Bend deep into that left knee. Extend the arm forward. Look down. Make sure your big toe is visible so you're not rolling that left knee in and injuring the inside of your left knee. Drop the shoulders and lengthen. Right? So warriors are like strong positions. So use this as an idea of strengthening through your legs, strengthening through your core, and strengthening through your arms. For 3, look at your middle finger. For 2, and 1. Dynamic movement. Inhale, reach up. Start position. Exhale, bend into the knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend into the knee. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, extend through the arms, bend into the knee, push the outer edge of your right foot back so you can feel a stretch along the outer edge there. And then transfer, left elbow, left thigh. Grab onto some real estate there. Spin the thigh to the left. You'll feel a greater length through the groin on the inside of your left leg. And then reach your right arm up and over the ear. Start to spin your gaze up towards that right arm. Keep reaching. Again, you can stay high, or if you want, you can take your left arm low. You can use it as some resistance stretch by pressing the elbow into the knee. Breathe for 3, Parsva Konasana, side angle pose. Breathe for 2. And 1. Release that. Hand comes to the thigh, extend yourself up. Trikonasana pose, our last standing pose of our warrior series. Turn your right foot back again. Left foot is going to, again, stay at a 90-degree angle. This one's a little bit more intensive than Parsva Konasana. Lengthen through your arms. Now, we're going to be tilting forward over that right leg. And if you're like any athlete that I know, you're already feeling this in the upper part of your adductors, on the inner part of your right thigh. Keep lengthening and pause there for a second. So use this as a core strengthening pose. Lengthen there. And then right hand is going to come down. All it needs to come to is anywhere below the right knee. Okay, it doesn't need to go all the way down to your foot. Push against wherever your hand is on, and then spin your left shoulder back. So you're feeling this great stretch all along the left side of your body, left low back, into the left hip, lengthen there. Spin the gaze up towards the ceiling, breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1. Left hand is going to come to left hip. You can walk your right hand up, or you can use your oblique muscles to lift yourself. Turn your right foot in. Switch sides, turn your left foot out. Lengthen through the arms. Inhale. Gaze over that left hand. Exhale. Start your hinge. Remember to pause for a second. Okay, spin your right shoulder back. Left hand is going to come low. Anywhere below the left knee, right arm is going to reach up over the right ear, lengthening up towards the ceiling. Imagine you're like in a big toaster oven and you want to make sure that your bum is not sticking way out behind you or it's going to get burnt, right? So draw your left cheek underneath you, roll your right shoulder blade toward your spine, lift your gaze, breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1. Release that. Hand to hip. Bring yourself back up to a standing position. Look towards that left foot. Step your right foot forward, top of your mat. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge forward, bend. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Take a second, notice, do my hamstrings feel any different than when I first started? Exhale, take your left foot back. Walking your right foot over to the right side of your mat, hands are gonna come on the inside of your right foot. If this is like, uh-oh, this is no bueno, then use some blocks to prop yourself up off of the floor. Lizard lunge, it's an intense stretch for the left quad. It's an intense stretch for the right hip and the left hip as well. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Release your left knee down. We're gonna come into galaxy pose, which is a stretch for your quad, okay? So if you need to use a strap or a hand towel on the left foot, then you are welcome to do that. If not, you can go hand to foot, okay? So if you're gonna go hand to foot, then you're gonna put your left hand down and you can block yourself up as much as you need. I've got 2 blocks on the ground. Reach your right hand back, to hold on to that left foot with the right hand. Now start to dial your right knee out some. Let your pelvic floor drop towards the ground, and then open up your chest. Again, you do not need to have your left hand on the floor. Breathe for 3. Again, you can put a strap on this left foot. Breathe for 2. Let's add a little bit of resistance. Push the foot into the hand while the hand draws it back gently. Do that one more time. Push the foot into the hand. And then allow the hand to draw it back gently. Excellent. Release that. Knees come together. Not come together. Knees in line. Open the knees wide. We're going to take a little recovery after that in child's pose. Sit your sit bones back. Now let's stretch through the triceps. Yogi, you're totally in the way of the camera. Let's stretch through the triceps. While we're sitting here, bend into your elbows, reach your hands back by your shoulders, by your shoulder blades. Walk your elbows forward. Let your chest weight down to the floor. Feel a stretch from the underarm to the elbow. If you want to give yourself some love, let's squeeze there a little bit in your traps. The best masseuse is the one you always have with you. That's yourself. So give yourself some love there. Good. Release that. Left side lizard lunge. Come back up onto the hands and knees. Where are you? Take your left foot forward. Start to let your right thigh roll down towards the floor. This is a great modification for lizard lunge. I didn't give it on the other side. But you can totally keep your foot on the, you can keep your knee on the floor, or if you want the more intense version, curl the toes, put the blocks underneath your hands, and let your pelvic floor drop towards the ground. Breathe for 3. Your left foot is slightly turned out. Your left knee is slightly turned out. Breathe for 2. And 1. Good, galaxy pose. Right knee is gonna drop down again. We're moving into that quad stretch. So decide if you need to have a strap on this side or not. Bend into your right knee. Now, by the way, this is a great stretch for those of you wicked tight in your quads. This is a great stretch right here. You don't need to do anything beyond this. If you can reach your hand to your foot, go for it. But if not, don't worry about it. Roll your chest open. Breathe for 3. I know. Breathe for 2. And 1. Release that. Take left knee in line with right knee. Coming to camel pose. Now, the knees are going to be 2 fist distance apart, okay? We're going to do one arm at a time. If you're super flexy and you want to do both arms at the same time, how about it? Curl your toes under so the heels are high. Take your right hand, reach it back to the heel. Send your hips forward, okay? So this is a stretch not only for the chest and the core, but you're also going to feel it into your quads. Hips forward, chest lifted, reach your left arm up and reach back. And breathe, look back. Breathe for 3, let your heart open, let yourself be vulnerable. This is sometimes a very frightening position for people, but open your heart up to something that you are looking for, something that you want to welcome in, and imagine that entering into your heart in this position. And then release the left side, take a light cat pose just to counter stretch, not an extreme round of your back. And then switch, come back up onto the knees again. Left hand down to the heel. Right arm reaches back, send your hips forward, send your chest up, look up. And then again, what do you want to receive, or what do you want to give out of your heart? Think about something and imagine it radiating out or into your heart for 3, for 2, and 1. We're gonna do a stretch for your neck. Come over here. We're gonna do a stretch for your neck called rabbit's pose. So bring your knees together. If you have neck issues, then you're just going to sit on your heels like this, and you're gonna gently add the weight of your hands to the back of your head to stretch through the neck. We're gonna do more neck stretches if we have time at the end, but if you're okay with that, come up onto your heels again, onto your ball mounts again, lift your heels. Bring the crown of your head down to the ground, just the crown of your head, and then roll yourself forward so that you're reaching towards the back of your crown, okay? Your forehead is close to your knees, but not touching. And then grab onto your heels and really round your shoulders there. So significantly round them. 3. Breathe into your rhomboids, the place in between your shoulder blades. Breathe for 2 and 1. Release that. Come to a seat. Keeping your left foot forward, bring your right heel to the inside of your left thigh. Right heel to inside of left thigh. Lengthen the spine, look forward, square your shoulders off, and then hinge forward, keeping your right knee down, keeping both of your sit bones glued to the ground. If it feels okay for you there in the low right side of your back, bring your left elbow on the inside of your left thigh. If that's not comfortable, plant your left foot to the floor, bending your left knee, bring your elbow on the inside there, okay? And then reach your right arm up and over the ear. So this is a great stretch all along the right side, into the low right side of your back, right above the pelvis area and below the ribs. Good. Excellent. Release that and switch sides. Right foot forward, left heel in. Have your right foot be slightly open, so it's not fully in front of you. It might be off the side of your mat. Hinge forward to start with. And then if it feels okay for you, take your right elbow on the inside of your right thigh, roll your left shoulder back, and then reach your left arm up and over your ear. Good. And breathe there. Roll that shoulder back. Ground your left sit bone down to the floor. Breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1. Release that. Plant both feet to the ground. Knees are bent. And you're going to roll yourself down onto your back. If you want to bolster your back up, like I'm doing, you're welcome to do that. We're going to stretch into your hips in a modified pigeon pose, okay? So laying on your back, you're going to cross your left ankle over your right knee. Press your left knee away gently with your left hand on your left thigh. Just feel a light stretch through the outside edge of your left hip. And then interlace the hands behind your right thigh, okay? Flex your feet, so flex both feet so you don't compromise the left knee. Now I want you to push so hard into your right thigh with your left ankle that it physically pulls you up off the mat. My arms are lengthened. I'm not doing a crunch with my abs. My legs are pushing away to pull my body up. Lengthen there. And then reverse that. Keep pressing away with your left ankle, but pull in on that right thigh. Left elbow comes to left thigh, and you lay the head back down. That's through your left hip, and you might feel it into your glute. Try that 2 more times. Press away, rocking yourself up. And then bend through the left elbow, bend through both elbows, pull the right thigh in towards your chest. Keep your butt on the ground the whole time. One more time. Press away, lengthening through the arms, slightly around your upper back there. Woo, good stretch for the upper back. And then reverse that, bend the elbows, head back down, press the left elbow into the left thigh. Release that. Have both feet go as wide as your mat. You're killing me this morning. And then windshield wiper your knees side to side. Okay, windshield wiper, side to side. Big, wide, open leg, bent knee position. Now, you're gonna let both knees drop to the right. Both knees drop to the right, and then take your right ankle, hook it on top of the outside edge of your left knee, and just let the weight of your right leg weigh your left knee down. Okay, so this is a stretch for your TFL, which you guys use a lot in running and cycling and swimming. And if it feels okay for you, reach your left arm out of it. So reach out like half a wide position with your left arm. And breathe there. Send your breath into that hip flexor outer edge spot on your left upper thigh. Good, release that. Switching legs on the pigeon pose, crossing your left ankle. I think we did the left side, right? Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then reach the hands through, grab onto your left thigh, flex your feet, press away, let it roll you up off the mat, nice long spine. And then pull in, press your right thigh away with your right elbow. Good. Press away, roll yourself up. And then pull in, right elbow to right thigh. Great stretch for that right hip, glute area. Right around there. One more time, press away. And then pull in. Press your right elbow into your right thigh. Good. Release that, plant both feet again. Feet are nice and wide, windshield wiper again. This is a great release for your low back. So nice to do after you run. You could lay on the ground and you could do this windshield wiper technique. And it's a great way of releasing all the tension that you get in your low back and kind of into the sacroiliac area, the area where your sacrum connects into the hip area in your low back. And then drop both knees to the left this time. Hook the left ankle on the outer edge of the lower part of your right leg. And just let the weight, so I'm not really pushing with my left leg, I'm just letting the weight of the left leg pull that right hip flexor. Good. Awesome. Release that. Bring your knees right over your hips. Okay, I'm not going to do this stretch with you, but you're going to do it. Take your arms out to a T and then drop your knees to the right as you look to the left. So you're doing a supine twist. Knees drop right, gaze to the left, reach long with that left arm, feel a stretch through your pec, right, into the front part of your left shoulder. Make sure you're still breathing through twists. So twists are a great way to keep your spine supple, which is good. And then switch sides, knees over hips, drop to the left, arms out to a T, gaze to the right. Making sure you're breathing through the twist. And then rather than coming back to center, roll over onto your left side and just pause there for a second. Just lay there for a second, close your eyes. Just breathe for a second in the fetal position. Laying on your left side is the best position that you could be in for circulation. So that's something that you want to think about when you're sleeping. That when you lay on your left side, you're getting the best circulation possible, which is nice when you're trying to flush your system. And then start to press yourself up. Come over here. Come back to a seat, any comfy seat. And we're just gonna stretch through your neck before we come to close. So if you need to prop yourself up onto something in order for your hips to be comfy, or you need to sit on a chair, by all means, please do that. Close the eyes. Come back to your breath, just like we did in the beginning. And then drop your left ear to your left shoulder. You can keep your eyes closed and just kind of listen to the audible cueing. Peel your right shoulder down so it's not up towards your ears. And if you need more there, just sweep your right hand gently behind you. And then start to turn your chin towards your left shoulder. You'll feel the stretch kind of move a little bit more towards the front right side of your neck rather than just the side. If you need more, you can rest the weight of your left hand on the back of your head and just allow the weight of your hand to add some more resistance. Release that, come back up to neutral. Switch sides, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Peel the left shoulder away. If you need more, sweep your left arm behind you. You could turn your chin towards your right shoulder. If you need more there, reach your right arm back of your head. Just the weight of the right arm is going to allow, don't pull there. Release that. Head back to neutral. Bring your chin down to your chest. Underneath your clavicle, there's some soft tissue there. So find that tissue with both hands. And push in and pull down, like you're trying to bring your belly, your chest muscles into your belly. Keep pulling down. Now lift your chin the other way, lift up. Oh, big stretch from the front of the neck. It's okay for this to feel like a little bit rippy-birdy because it's pretty shallow connective tissue. And then open your jaw and close your low jaw to meet your upper jaw a couple of times. Head back to neutral. Bring the hands back behind your head, interlace them. Push your head gently back into your hands, lift your chin up. Breathe in, and then override that. Pull your chin down to your chest, drop your shoulders, and then bring the tips of your elbows to meet each other. Good, release that. Close the eyes, just let the hands come back down towards your thighs and just take a moment. Be still for a moment and scan your body. And notice if there's any difference that you feel, right? Do you feel any difference in your body? Do you feel any difference in your mind, in your heart, your breath, your thoughts? And then draw your hands to your heart center. We call this a mudra or a seal. Anjali mudra means heart-centered seal. Just take a moment and maybe send a blessing out to someone or something or someplace that needs your light and love today. Send a radiant light to them. See them basking in that golden shower. And then thumbs come to your forehead. Use it as a reminder to think good thoughts and kind thoughts and happy and healthy thoughts and thoughts that wish well. And then take them to your lips. Use that as a reminder to speak good words and kind words and happy words and words that wish well, constructive words, not destructive words. And then finally, thumbs back to your heart center, taking a moment to thank yourself for giving your time and energy and your light and love and hopefully feeling good. And from my heart to yours, I wish you namaste. Chai chai, howdy home. Hope you guys feel good. You can unmute yourselves.
Thank you. That was awesome.
My pleasure.
Bye,
Sorry.
Yogi.
Sorry, Yogi is upstaging me the whole morning.
That's okay.
He's like crying at the door. He's in the room walking around.
All right. Well, I'm happy you guys joined. There's a lot of you. Woohoo! Love it.
How many people
all right.
do we have, Aaron?
What?
How many people do we have?
I don't know. How do I count? We had 11 total.
Sweet.
Yeah. Good
Awesome.
deal. So yeah, so we're gonna keep having Monday classes. So stay tuned for next Monday, right, Meredith?
Yep. Mondays. And if you guys have any questions, you can find me on Instagram. I'm called Stretch Stronger, or on Facebook, Meredith Bass. You can send me a message or send me requests or anything like that. But I will hopefully see you again.
All right, guys. Happy Monday. Wishing you guys a great day. See you tomorrow at the track. Bye.
Thank you.
Yogi.